Howdy everyone, I'm Hurley. If this is your first time here and you are a controller player, I'm truly sorry that I have pissed you off by the end of this video. So please subscribe while it is in your heart to do so. Anyways, I have some crazy experiments that I've done with the controller that prove that the controller is way too overpowered compared to the mouse and keyboard. I know there's going to be a lot of hate in the comments, but I love each and every one of you guys, and I would love to see your opinions in the comments, so don't forget to put those in there, but be open-minded after you see the test that I do today. We will be doing 3 tests on accuracy, bloom, and recoil. Each test will be done with the same gun, with mouse and keyboard, and also the controller. From here to the target, way down there, is 125 meters. I will give you a quick view of the accuracy testing range. This being at 5 meters is obviously no contest, but I will start here to be fair. Here are my settings for the controller. Being this close, accuracy will not be much different, but I will start with the controller. 3 headshots and this bot is down. These bots have 100 health and 100 shield. Like I said, there is no contest with the accuracy at this range. Now testing with the mouse. Okay, as we move farther from the target, the difference in the accuracy will show itself. So right now you're probably thinking, oh, this isn't really that big of a deal. But just continue to watch and you will see how much different it is. This is at 35 meters with the controller. I am not adjusting the aim whatsoever for both inputs, but at this range, less than a whole clip will kill the bot. Let's see how the mouse performs. It is safe to say a whole clip and maybe a few more bullets will kill the bot with the mouse. We will do an accuracy test at 50 meters, 75 meters, 100 meters, and 125 meters. At 50 meters, the controller player uses 1 clip and a few bullets before they finish. The mouse player uses 1 clip and 21 bullets for the finish. This is at 75 yards and the controller input uses 1 clip and 18 bullets for the kill. The mouse is at 2 clips and 6 bullets. The accuracy between the inputs are really showing themselves now. This accuracy test is about over and we will run a bloom and recoil test, guys. Controller at 2 clips and 4 bullets. This is at 100 yards and very few battles occur at this range, but you always have that one guy that is spamming the scar on top of a mountain. So at this range, the mouse comes in at 3 clips and 1 bullet. The controller at 125 yards is at 2 clips and 4 bullets. The same accuracy at 100 yards. The mouse is at 4 clips and 1 bullet. So this will sum up the accuracy test, and you can see that the accuracy gap continues to get much worse with the mouse over the controller. This is the bloom test. It is very simple. What I will do is aim down sights and put my crosshairs on the bottom of the last window. From there we will spin 6 clips and see how far out the bullets bloom. Let's go down and see where the bullets hit. I already did a pre-test, and I have the bloom window just above this one right here, and we will be referencing the bloom difference in just 1 second. Here is the window bloom for the mouse, and also with the window bloom for the controller. I will take you upstairs so we can compare. The red window is the controller bloom window, and the orange and red is the bloom of the mouse. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but as I shoot at the center with my controller, the bloom is inside of the top and bottom crosshairs, and in the middle of the left and right crosshairs. But when I use the mouse, the bloom is on the outside of the crosshairs. That is quite significant, and it will decrease your accuracy altogether. The last test is the most important, the recoil test. I will put my crosshair at the bottom of the last window, and we will watch the recoil at the crosshair. This is with controller, and you can clearly see the crosshair doesn't go outside the gray and red box. The mouse will be aimed at the bottom window of the green wall. The recoil with the mouse stretches from the bottom to the top of the green and gray window. Let's look at the results upstairs real quick. While I'm standing here, I will zoom in and we will see how significant the recoil is. The bottom of both windows will be on a level surface. This will help us see how high the crosshairs raise at a starting point. As you can see, if you were to put a red window above this red window, it would match the recoil of the mouse. So it is safe to say that the mouse has double the recoil, or the controller has an anti-recoil of 50% compared to the mouse. Some will say this still isn't that much of a difference, but don't fail to realize that when you incorporate all these 3 tests together, it becomes very significant. I was the controller hillbilly at one time, so don't come at me with, well, if controller is better, you should switch. That isn't what I'm getting at, guys. It's clear that Fortnite has made these advantages just for the controller more prominent than it ever has been before. I realized a lot of disadvantages when it came to the mouse and keyboard. Many people say, you use your whole arm, hillbilly, to aim. All I have is these little sticks. Well, using your arm to aim, it isn't as easy as a controller player thinks. I mean, if they actually tried it, then they would agree, but obviously they haven't tried it. This test right here speaks for itself. It doesn't matter if you're a pro or not. You cannot change the increased bloom or recoil without dragging your mouse all the way down below the mouse pad just to counter the recoil. Then we have all those hillbillies that say, Johnny, you use 50 keys. All we have is a few buttons on our controller. There's 2 sides to this story, guys. If you have the standard naked controller, then you are at a huge disadvantage when it comes to freedom of building, jumping, trapping, and so on. But if you have a pro controller such as Scuf, Astro, Xbox Elite controller, there isn't any disadvantages for the controller player. Oh yes, I know for sure. I have a pro controller. I have this one. I have many of them. Let's dig into it a little bit deeper, Debbie. You use L2 and R2, and that's what you use to aim and shoot with. I use right click and left click on my mouse, so that's 2 buttons for 2 buttons. You also use L1, L2, R1, R2 to place your builds. Oh, and you have the right paddle for your ring finger right here to enter into the builds that place it immediately. Well, Debbie, I just got something to tell you. I use Q, E, mouse button 4, mouse button 5, which is 4 buttons just like you guys, but I also have to hold in my fire button in order to place my builds. I have to hold this in the whole entire time. It would suck if you had to hold your paddle down the entire time while you were placing your builds, but you don't have to. All you have to do is go into build mode and you're free to go. Let's think logically here. I have 50 keys that I can use. I don't know whose hand is that freaking big, but mine sure ain't. I mean, if my hands were about 18 inches long, I'd probably be able to use all these keys. But look, Debbie, my hands go about this far. And I'm going to be like most of the controller players. I'm going to use the keys that are closest to my hand. Wow, you didn't see that one coming. Let's continue, shall we? You use your thumb to walk wherever the F you want. I have to use my ring finger, my index finger, and my middle finger just to get around. So what time you think I'm over here with my 12 fingers pressing all these 50 buttons, I'm actually tying 2 of my fingers up just to move around. If we done the math, that leaves me 6 fingers to use elsewhere. When you run around with your $200 controller, you can use 8 fingers, big guy. If you're skilled enough, you could probably even use those pinkies somewhere. Anyways, trap is T for me, and it's your paddle, which is on the back of your controller. Edit is R for me, and edit is your left paddle that is on the back of your controller. To the little amount of knowledge I have, the only advantage is the scroll wheel edit on the mouse, but to be honest with yourselves, would you rather have scroll wheel edit or more than 50% better aim? I only want a friendly debate, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I honestly think Fortnite has made this a problem. I believe controller players need some form of aim assist, but they do not need the L2 snapping. They also do not need the aim tracking. And on a serious note, all recoil and bloom should be on the same, whether it is console, PC, controller, mouse and keyboard, it doesn't matter. It should be all the same. Hopefully you guys don't think I'm targeting any specific person. I would like a friendly debate, and if you would like to see more, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Controller peeps, I understand how your thoughts could be negative, but remember when Fortnite announced that console and PC will be in the same lobby? All of us controller hillbillies were pissed. Just like we were pissed when we duoed up with our friend that was on PC, and we were stuck in the PC lobbies, and then I remember raging because of the PC aiming and building, and I could just go on. There is a clear advantage on the controller, and tables have turned. I have some more videos coming out on exponential, linear, and legacy settings. Guys, it's going to be really great, and I'll see you in the next one.